Hello, everybody. How you doing? And happy Thursday. I'm going live today with Stacy from Urban Pharmacy, and we're going to be talking about the vegan health bundle. I'm sure she will chime in with me any moment. We are supposed to be on at 11, and hey, Stacy, I see she's here. Just waiting for her to, let's see. I'm going to view our request to join, and I'm going to just it's a rainy day here in Massachusetts. It's really chilly. So I'm sitting here with a blanket and a cat on my lap. Hello there, Stacy.
Hey Sarah, how's it going? I was just running to my kitchen because I want to show a few things
Oh, awesome.
as we talk about plant foods. How's it going? Good
Good
morning.
morning. Nice to meet you.
You up on the tripod. Nice to meet you too, fellow foodie, fellow plant foodie. I actually can't see you, which is like the saddest thing in the world. That's been happening on Instagram lives lately. So if yeah, I can't see your facial expressions or
Oh,
anything, but
that's
I'm here and I think
weird.
yeah, I know. It happened with Lissa and other people, and it's just really sad. But um,
Did
yeah, it's just a Instagram glitch going on. But I can't see you, but you can see me,
I
right?
can see you perfectly. Hello
Cool.
to all the folks that are tuning in. I love how they say hi from wherever. Can you see
Yeah,
the chat in the bottom?
yeah, I can. Yep.
Okay. Um,
Welcome, everybody. We're
do
having a
you
foodie chat.
Yeah, have you tried when you're having glitches to hang up and get back on?
I have, and it actually doesn't really seem to work. So, I
Huh.
mean, if everybody can see us, just everybody just let us know if you can hear both of us and if you can see both of us. And if so, then we'll just keep rolling and just I can't see you, sadly. It's
I
fine.
see everybody saying hello. They're not saying they can't see or hear anybody, so I guess they're all
Okay.
right.
All right, cool. Cool. All right. Well, let's talk food. Let's talk plant food because we're in the bundle together, this awesome vegan health bundle, right? And I
Yes.
want to
Oh,
share all the good stuff.
everybody's saying they can hear and see us both.
Okay,
So
fabulous.
you, Stacy, are new to me.
Yeah,
I found you in the bundle.
yeah, awesome.
Tell me a little bit about you and what you're doing.
Yeah, I would love to just share a little bit about what I do and kind of how I found like the plant life. Currently, we're in central Indiana. This is actually where I grew up. We have an organic farm. We grow organic produce and sell at the farmers market. And
Oh,
I've always kind of been into health and wellness ever since kind of struggling with my health as a child. I was pretty sick as a kid. My mom would be like, no, you weren't sick, but actually I was sick. I was on antibiotics a lot. I got cold sores. I had eczema. I had, asthma, and I just really didn't have the healthiest immune system. And around like 19 years old, I started switching things around. I found mind body connection, I found Pilates, became a Pilates studio owner kind of in my mid 20s, and really started just getting a grip of my health. And plant foods came into my life around that time as well. So I've been living a plant based lifestyle for about 15 years. And I'm a total foodie. I'm a holistic nutritionist now. I work from home. I work in the clean beauty space and I homeschool our son. So that was like a really fast, that was a really fast kind of all about me. But I just really have found like a total transformation in my health, and in my vitality and in my life and my love for food through plant foods. And my dad has a lot to do with my love for flavors and recipes and stuff like that too. And I've just figured out ways to make them free of added oil, which I know is like what the bundle is all about. There's a lot of, the whole entire bundle is about oil-free cooking. Um, and yeah, I just love creating recipes and helping people feel great.
that's awesome.
I want to know about your story. How did you find, I mean, like you were a chef?
Yes,
Yeah.
I am a chef. I was a restaurant chef for almost 30 years. I
Okay.
say that all the time in my videos. Um, so I grew up. I also, I was on antibiotics a lot as a kid too. So I guess we ate a pretty meaty diet growing up, and I was always a salad lover, but I didn't really know about vegetarianism or any of that until I was like in late high school,
Mm.
and I got kind of intrigued and I wanted to try it. And so I think my senior year of high school, I went vegetarian. But, your first year of vegetarian when you're a kid, it's kind of hard to really, you're not providing all your food and stuff. So I don't think I fully went vegetarian until I went to college.
Got it.
And they had like a meal plan in my dorm, and like a co-op, and they had like tons of vegetarian food, and I just was like, and I was able to really go vegetarian and just cut out meat and try all kinds of beautiful global flavors and things that, like, in small town Massachusetts I had never been exposed to. I don't even think I had an avocado until
Yeah.
college. What's
Yeah, I
happening? Your
actually
voice
didn't have
keeps
avocados
changing.
early on either. I did not. I was not
Yeah,
exposed
like
to
it
avocados.
wasn't something that was readily available, and
Yeah.
I tried curry for the first time, like all kinds of stuff, and got into like some holistic stuff as well, and started working in health food outside of college to like make money. And that's when I realized that I loved cooking, and that cooking was something like I had a natural affinity towards. And then I just dove into doing that as my career. And during my cooking, I think about 5 years later, I started eating omnivore, because people kept
Mhm.
telling me, like, how are you going to be able to cook professionally if you're not tasting
Yeah, I was
things, right?
wondering the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So for probably about 20 years, I was an omnivore.
Mhm.
And although I did eat meat, I still ate a really heavy plant diet. Like I
Mhm.
ate a lot of
Yeah.
vegan dinners, a lot of vegetarian dinners as well. But I did eat some, meat and cheese and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I had my children in my late 30s and early 40s. I had three kids back to back. And two of my children were lactose intolerant. And so when I was nursing, I had to give up all dairy. And I realized like how great I felt without it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so after they were all done with all that, I think I watched like Forks Over Knives in like 2018, or yeah, 2018. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to my roots. I don't eat that much meat, so it's not going to be like a huge stretch for me.
Yeah.
And I have like such a big background in health foods, and I've always been kind of like the salad queen. Everybody always made jokes about me and my salads. Like when they'd come to dinner parties at my house, it was like all about the salads, not like the meat or whatever.
Yeah. You're
um
really good. You're really good with salads. I mean, it's super clear
Thank
on
you.
your handling. You're just like the salad queen. It's just
Well,
amazing.
yes, because it's my favorite thing to do is make a
Mhm.
beautiful salad, balanced salad with lots of flavor and texture, and just challenge what everybody's idea of salad is. And so,
Yeah.
long story short, in 2019, I said I'm going to go vegan for 1 year,
Mhm.
and we'll take it from there, right? And so
Yep.
on January 1st, 2019, I went vegan, and I started posting about my vegan food. And long story short, here we are in 2024, and my career has changed. My whole life path has kind of changed, and I'm helping people eat more veggies. So yeah, there we go.
Inspiring. It's so inspiring to, like, honestly, your handle, I just open it up and I'm like, it's just like a flood of beautiful like colors and flavors, and it makes me salivate every time. And I think it's just, you know, the first salad that I actually liked in my life was in New York City, and you're from New York, right? Like
Massachusetts,
you're, yeah,
but
okay,
it's close
okay.
enough.
Yeah, it's around there. It's so you probably got a lot more like food exploration than I did. I mean, I shouldn't assume that, but living in central Indiana, it was pretty yeah. just not like foodie central. Let me say that for sure. The first salad that I had that I actually liked was at Bobby Flay's restaurant, and it was a chopped salad. Now I was not plant-based at that time, but it was like I had never even I didn't even know that salads existed like that weren't just like a wedge of iceberg lettuce maybe with some like Ritz crackers, like legit like Ritz crackers and some buttermilk ranch and like cheese shreds on it. Like that was my thought of a salad. And I was like 21. Like I went 21 years without even knowing what like a legit salad was. So now, all of the different possibilities. Well, the food processors can shred and like we can do all of these different things, especially if you have good knife skills, you can create so many different textures and stuff to make a party in your mouth. And it's so exciting. Um, and there's so many raw recipes. I will just say I've been living raw. Just I went to the Woodstock Fruit Festival. It's like people should look it up. It's actually quite fun. I brought our son, and it's like a week long of like tropical fruit and like sugarcane juice and lots of gourmet raw vegan food, and it's super fun. This year it was in Miami, and that was in January, and I've actually been eating mostly raw ever since then, and I have
Wow.
been feeling super super good. And I can't believe I've made it this long in the winter in Indiana, but I've been having a lot of cayenne to keep me warm and stuff like it's cinnamon and cayenne, and nuts and seeds and heavier raw food. But there's tons of raw recipes in this bundle, which I am like so stoked about. And I actually want to show the people what I made. I made some. I've been making the raw wraps. I don't know if you know about Lissa from Raw Food Romance. One of the people that put this bundle together. Um, she creates these like ridiculously amazing gourmet raw recipes. I'm about to make this raw taco, like these raw tacos in my dehydrator. Do you have a dehydrator, Sarah?
I have a dehydrator function on an air fryer, but I have
Oh,
never
okay.
figured out how to use it. I'll
Oh,
be
you got it.
honest.
You've got to try some of these recipes in the raw books. And you don't have to have a dehydrator to make raw recipes. You can make amazing salads and smoothies and tons of stuff. But like, look, I made these raw tortilla chips made
Wow.
of organic corn and flax seeds. They're so delicious. And then in the bundle, there's also raw tacos. There's also hand salads. So I'm thinking we could take some of your delicious rainbow confetti like salads and fill them up in these pliable wraps. They're raw wraps. They're totally grain free. Um, and they're just made of like fruits and vegetables, and you dehydrate them on like flat trays and fill them up with like all the fillings, and they're so good. I mean, we've been living on them ever since we I, I've had her wrap book for a while, but it's in the bundle. And yeah, they're just delicious and so good. And then there's also a ton of baked goods in the bundle. This morning I kind of broke my raw thing for the first time because I could not eat these. Um, this is a peanut butter banana bliss like bar brownie bread. I don't know even what to call it.
Wow.
I doubled the recipe. So but these are in Rachel just Detroit's just like easy baking, I think, in her ebook in the bundle. And it's a peanut butter banana bliss bar. And they
Wow.
are really, really good. They were really simple. They were just bananas and, peanut butter and oat flour. Do you bake a lot, or are you more of like a savory girl?
I'm a savory girl. I don't do, I mean, I do some baking mostly for my kids. I just want to address a couple questions here.
Sure. Yeah.
Somebody was asking if there was anything that we miss being on a vegan diet.
Mm.
Um, uh, Personally, the only thing that I miss is eggs, just
Yeah.
because eggs are like so versatile and really
Yeah.
easy, and you know they're like a quick source of like protein and stuff. It's literally the only thing that I don't care if I ever eat a hamburger again. I
Right.
mean, every
Right.
once in a while, because my children are not vegan. My children are, I would call them like 80% vegetarian.
Mm-hmm.
And, here and there they eat stuff other than, like they'll eat a burger here and there and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I do make them eggs like once or twice a week, and
Oh, I
sometimes
bet that that's kind of difficult.
it looks good. Well, I'm a chef, so
Right,
it's really
right.
it's easy for me.
Yeah,
I
you're used to.
professionally, like even in 2019, uh, I was still working in restaurants, and I
Right.
was vegan and eating vegan food, and like not using animal products, but yet
Mhm.
I'd go into work and I'd man the grill for like 8 hours,
Right,
so
right.
it's like I kind of can separate things,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
and kind of go into like work mode,
for
if that
sure. I
makes
definitely get
sense.
that. Yeah, and I worked in bakeries, like even though it's just so funny, I was like straddling two different styles. I was going to college for exercise science. At the same time, I was a manager at a Pilates studio, and then like I was working in a bakery as well at the same time. So I have like I worked in bakeries for several years. So there was a point in time when I was working in one of the bakeries, and I went like plant based, and I didn't go like junk food vegan. I went, mostly whole food, plant based, and like the bakery stuff was just like awful. Some of it was just horrible, like things that I would not be eating, like highly processed, food dyes, stuff like that. And that's just not the way that I roll. That's not the way that I feel well. And I was able to kind of just shut it off. Now the bread was a different story. The bread, I have a total weakness for bread. I love bread, but the cakes and stuff like that, I was just like, I have no desire to eat them. But for me, I don't really miss anything. Um, it's been 15 years for me. The one thing that I broke free from, like the animal product that I broke away from at the very last was dairy. And I was once I took meat and eggs and stuff out of my diet, I was like, oh my God. I was kind of freaking out. I'm like, how am I gonna get my protein? So I immediately thought, well, I'll just have dairy instead. And at that time I was eating a lot of dairy actually, and then I started feeling really not good. So I kind of was addicted to like the sugar and dairy, but I would say no, I really don't have anything that I miss. Um, you know, yeah, eggs are a convenient food, but a convenience food, they're just easy, but I kind of replaced that with fruit. I know they're totally different, like nutritionally, but I'm just like my easiest fast food. You know what? Actually, Sarah, my easiest fast food is Japanese sweet potatoes or Hawaiian sweet potatoes. I will just make those and like batch in my Instapot or in the oven. And like if I'm out the door, like to go whatever, take our son somewhere or something, I'll grab a freaking potato and I will eat those. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with the Hawaiian sweet potatoes. Have you ever had them? They're like
Are they the ones that are white in the inside?
yeah. No, they're white on the outside and they're purple on the inside.
Mm.
So they're mind blowing. They're also known as Okinawan sweet potatoes. If you have an Asian market near you, I guarantee you'll be able to find them. I do order mine from Hawaii Veggie Farm, and we get them by the like 20-pound box. And I will just we eat them all like they're I haven't had them for a while since I've been doing raw, but like they're a staple in our house, and I mean I don't even eat orange sweet potatoes anymore. They do not serve me. They don't they don't taste good to me. I only eat like the Japanese ones that like you were saying, they're white on the inside and they're red/purple on the outside, or I'll have the Hawaiian ones or the purple stokes, or the Hana yams that are all white. I'm obsessed with potatoes. Those are like my thing. Instead of grabbing a hard boiled leg or whatever, I'll just grab a sweet potato, and that's my fast food.
That's
Anybody
fun.
asking
Um,
other questions?
One of my children just recently announced that potatoes were his favorite vegetable. It's
I
like,
think it's the most popular vegetable actually, um, and that and like ketchup, like I don't know, the biggest source of tomatoes in this country is actually via ketchup.
Oh my
Um,
God, that's crazy.
yeah, potatoes are
Um,
the best. Potatoes are a nutritional powerhouse, truthfully. They're great for our gut too. They
yeah.
really are wonderful for our gut.
Well, I
My
definitely don't mind him loving potatoes as long as it's not just in French fry form. Um,
right, right.
so, though, just to reiterate to the audience, the whole thing that's brought me and Stacy together today is the Vegan Health Bundle. We're both
Mhm.
part of this Vegan Health Bundle. I know some of my audience has been a little bit confused because I'm not an oil free vegan, and I do eat some oil free food, obviously, but and I make some oil free recipes. A lot of my followers have been asking me for more oil free stuff. So it just seemed kind of timely for me to jump in with the Vegan Health Bundle,
Yeah.
because the bundles are always a great way to get a lot of resources out to everybody at a smaller price. And it's also a fun way to get exposed to other people's content and meet other people like yourself, Stacey. Um, I made an ebook specifically for this bundle of oil-free recipes, which I previously didn't have. So I put that in the bundle. You want to tell me a little bit about your contribution to the bundle?
Yeah, I have two contributions. I've done a lot of recipe books in the past, but they've been part of this vegan health bundle, so I couldn't put the same ones in. So I did a collaboration with my friend Dr. Steph Peacock. She and I did one called Mystery Illnesses, and actually what it is it's basically going over the phases of liver detoxification. And that the reason why we did that is because so many ailments that people are actually dealing with these days, metabolic issues, you know, mast cell activation, like just food sensitivities, a lot of these things actually stem back to the liver. And maybe there's excessive fat in the liver that we don't know about. Maybe we have viral overload. Maybe there's environmental toxins that are bothering our liver. You know, our liver is our our liver is our detoxifying, organ. It's our master detoxifier. And if it's bogged down, it's going to be difficult for us to feel really well. So Steph goes over the different phases of liver detoxification, and I go over the nutrients that help liver detoxification, and I do a day, cooking demo of liver supporting foods. And it's not all raw or anything like that. There's even tofu in there and some yummy recipes. And then I also did a pretty off the cuff, not recipe based contribute contribution to this bundle as well. It's called How to Brand Yourself as a Holistic Entrepreneur, because I figured there's a lot of people that are in the health and wellness space or in the plant-based community, and they're entrepreneurs, and maybe they want to learn how to grow their businesses and help impact more people. So I kind of give my tips and tricks on what I've learned from working with like a brand coach and growing my personal streams of income in the health and wellness and plant-based space um, for the last several years. So I just put a little mini video course together in there as well. I think it's the only financial health contribution in the bundle. Um, Most of them are recipes, right? But there's also organization from Andrew Mellon. He's an amazing human being and has so many tips and tricks on kind of how to get your life like put together and how to feel less stress. And then there's just so many other things, tons and tons of recipes, 2,000 recipes. Um, and and just health and wellness in general, fitness, fascia flow, detoxification. It's just endless things in here. I will say, Sarah, somebody said that it's hard. I saw this. It says they were talking about how it's hard to make things, how to recreate foods that don't have oil or, egg replacer. And yeah, if people are out there and they want to eat plant-based foods that are not full of like junky replacements and not processed, processed, you will find a lot of that here. Because this is an oil-free bundle, you will see a whole bunch of different things that you can use, even to replace like sugar. A lot of us use dates instead, or whole fruit to sweeten the food. Tons and tons of whole food plant-based um, recipes in the bundle like that, showing lots of different ways to cook without oil or sugar if people are wanting to do that. I just wanted to mention that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, I I kind of lost my train of thought here. I'm getting so many messages about GoFundMe for Gaza, and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
it's a
distracting.
it's a really tough subject to hit on something like this. If you who the people sending me stuff, send me it in DM, please, and not, because there's nothing. I can't share your link right here in the middle of this. I don't think there's a way to do it anyway. I mean, feel free to put the link in your comment if you want, um, but otherwise we're having a conversation about this, and I understand that the world is in Gaza is in a terrible place. So in a terrible situation right now, but I'm sorry.
Aw,
So
I know I know. Molly asked the question, are you going to say that? Like, why isn't oil vegan?
yes,
You want to
let's talk
talk
about
about
that.
that?
let's
For sure.
let's get our focus back onto our conversation. So Molly, oil itself is vegan, but the reason why folks are stressing oil-free recipes is because many people believe, and there's a growing body of research, that oil can be inflammatory and can aggravate or sometimes even cause inflammatory conditions. Many people believe, and one person that I spoke with on Tuesday in a live, that cutting out oil from your diet can not only help prevent, but can also, in some cases, reverse chronic conditions like type 2 diabetes. The reason is because oil itself has been stripped of most of its nutrients in the processing. So, therefore, it's not a whole food. So, many of these oil free recipes may have some natural oils from the ingredients that are in there, but the ingredient is not specifically oil. Did I explain that
Mhm.
correctly?
Yeah.
Because you're an oil-free person.
Yeah, I am an oil-free person, and it's not necessarily um because oil is terrible for you. I just through my learning as a holistic nutritionist and as a plant-based coach, and just following the plant-based doctors and interviewing tons of the plant-based doctors on my podcast, like um, not all of them are oil free. Okay. And I don't think that oil should be demonized at all. I think that oil can be healthy, and it can carry amazing polyphenols, specifically a really, really high quality uh, olive oil that has been recently pressed, right? And that hasn't been sitting on the shelf for a long time, because it does start to lose that antioxidant load pretty rapidly. So you want to get like super high quality oils if you are going to include them into your diet. And I would keep them at like a low dose and use them, raw if possible, ideally. And here's the other thing. You were talking about like type 2 diabetes reversal. There is a large body of evidence showing us with type 2 diabetes that a lot of the problems really we're very the insulin cannot do its job. The insulin, the hormone that actually pulls the sugar into the cells, it can't do its job because there's too much intramyocellular lipid, meaning there's just too much fat in our cell, and it's hard for us to get the sugar inside, which then raises our blood sugar and puts the excessive fat and sugar in organs where it shouldn't be. And that is where the oil-free concept or philosophy um, kind of plays in, saying, well, first off, oil is the highest caloric density food. So it's 4,000 calories per pound. And just to give you like you know, a comparison, like fruit is 200 calories per pound, right? And vegetables are 100 calories per pound. Oil is 4,000 calories per pound. So we're living in a country, well, in the United States at least, where around 80% of us are metabolically ill. We might be carrying excess weight and having metabolic issues or diabetes or high blood pressure, etc. And some studies show that cutting the oil out is one of the easiest ways to just cut that excessive fat in the diet and to lower the caloric load in our daily consumption and to get us more on the right track in terms of metabolic health. Um, Also, there has been a study by Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn showing that oil can damage the endothelial lining of our circulatory system. But I will also say, Sarah, that there are studies out there showing that there are benefits to specifically olive oil. Most of the studies showing olive oil of benefit, specifically because of a polyphenol called hydroxytyrosol that I've been learning a lot about. But just if people want to be nerds with me, if they really want to get those polyphenols and they don't want to consume oil, just have the olive leaf. You can actually put olive leaf like in drinks and in your food, and you'll get like up to 3,000 times more of that one polyphenol um, in the leaf versus the oil. So that was just a fun fact about olive oil in particular. But yeah, I don't think that it's right or wrong, but I've been cooking oil free for 4 or 5 years and you don't miss it. I mean, I just saute with oil or broth, or I'm sorry, with water or broth. I love using like mushroom broth to add flavor. But yeah, you're not going to get the same crispiness and stuff like that. So it's kind of a learning curve, but I think there's room for balance. But it doesn't have to be all or nothing, but if you do consume oil, I would just make sure that it's like super high quality and then it's not like a huge like pool of oil that your food is
Yeah,
swimming in. Yeah.
for sure. I I'm just reading Nana Kitty's comment, and I agree. I mean, obviously, eating a plant-based diet, I'm not eating meat and dairy, but I one of the things that I like vow to do is to have a platform that is more temperate, and I'm not like forcing it down people's throats because I know most people it's not sustainable to go vegan for them.
Yeah.
And it feels too challenging, and it will like make it almost does less good to
Mhm.
be so like stringent about it. Like I just want people to eat more vegetables
Yes.
and eat less oil than what they're
Mhm.
eating now. And I hope that with the food that I'm making and sharing with the world, I'm helping to make that happen. If they want to go
Absolutely.
vegan, amazing. If they don't, amazing.
Right.
And as long as they're eating better and they're treating their bodies better and giving themselves better some food that is like just more nutritious for their bodies. The
Absolutely.
whole reason I'm in on this vegan health bundle is because a lot of people already are vegan and they were asking me to take this a little bit further in and go with some oil-free recipes. I
Yeah.
often will post a salad and someone will say, how can I make this but oil free?
Mhm.
And so it's actually a pretty easy uh it's really easy to do it. Like there's just a couple of little substitutes that will make it oil free
Yeah.
because most of my recipes have just a tablespoon or two of olive oil,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. I think that, and just from working with clients, like with their nutrition, you got to kind of, yeah, I mean, there's room, I think, for hyper niching and like for people that have chronic cardiovascular disease and stuff like that, that need to be on like strict oil free, like, or they need to completely reverse their, like carotid arteries. Like there's definitely a time and a place. But you're trying to get that message out of more fruits, more vegetables, more whole grains, more beans, like more plants And what that does is a beautiful thing. It just simply and easily crowds out other things.
Yeah.
There's no more room in the stomach for things that are less conducive to our health. So it's a win all around, even if there is oil in the diet. And the thing is, if people are like hard set on wanting to have oil, like that's totally fine. Just make some recipes from the bundle and enjoy those that are oil free, right? And nobody's making out there making like smoothies with oil added to them all the time. So like, there's
For
there's
sure.
room for oil-free living, or recipes in the daily diet. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, the idea of a smoothie today kind of horrifies me because I'm freezing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
am freezing.
I had nice cream for breakfast yesterday, which by the way, there is like this green tea, like lemon custard nice cream that I need to make from the bundle that I'm like, I've got to make it. And I literally just put a sock hat on and like a scarf and a winter coat and eat the nice cream. Like, because I want to eat the nice cream. I'm not gonna not eat it.
The heart
But I
wants what
gotta
it
do it.
wants, right?
Yeah, the body wants what it wants. Like
Yeah.
when I
So
have my mind set on it. Yeah.
I think we got to wrap it up. But if anybody wants to learn more about oil free and wants to grab the bundle because it has a lot of resources that explain the concept, that really dive deeper into the concept, and then there's literally thousands of oil free recipes in there,
Hmm.
like literally thousands.
Yeah.
It's astounding. And I think some people are a little confused about how a bundle works. And
Yeah.
what it's like is you'll get a link for it, and then you have a whole year to download the the things from the bundle, and you'll want to do that onto like an external hard drive. It's actually very easy, something that you just plug into the side of your computer. You can buy one for like $20,
Mhm.
right? And then you put it all onto there, and then it's yours forever, and you can just pick through the resources. It's like buying like a whole library.
Yeah. There's like 150 ebooks and courses that you can access. So you can pick and choose, even if there was like three or four things from the bundle, like maybe you see this super simple Lebanese or this plentiful weight loss cookbook or, the plant-based Japanese or breaking free from processed food course or the gut health course from Dr. McDougall, or maybe it's the infection protection course from Dr. Furman. If there's just like a handful of things that you see out of these 150 resources, it is well worth your $49 to get, because if you were to buy all of these things individually, it would be $8,000, actually over $8,000. So it brings every single contribution down to less than 50. Actually, I think it's less than 40 cents. So,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
if people just want like it, I really wish 15 years ago when I went plant-based, I seriously wish I had something like this, because I had to do all of my own research and figure it out along the way in a really really slow way. But this is literally just like right there for you to have as a resource to inspire you and to get you going to eat more plants and to start feeling better.
Yeah,
So somebody said
it's pretty
best
awesome.
bundle. That's awesome. Somebody said it's the best bundle. Get it. That's awesome. It's really good. Yeah. So go to either of the links in our bios and grab it, you guys. We want to just help you feel better and eat more plants and experience gut microbiome health and mental clarity. It can all come when you add in more plants. So
Absolutely.
Sarah, it
Thank
was
you,
awesome meeting
Stacy.
you.
Nice
It was
to meet
awesome
you
meeting
and
you.
nice talking today.
Take
Enjoy the
care.
rest
Be
of your
well.
day.
You too.
All right, bye. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining us.